the discovery the galaxy had always watched Earth with casual curiosity. To most alien races, humanity was simple. Their world was covered in blue oceans, green lands, and quiet cities. They had no grand empires stretching across the stars, no fleets roaming the galaxy, no ambition to conquer. For centuries, alien explorers scanned Earth and laughed. Harmless, they said. Small, weak. Only one world, only one people. But they were wrong. One day, a deep space survey ship belonging to the Cathari Dominion decided to scan Earth again. It was a routine mission, nothing important. The Cathari had mapped hundreds of worlds, but something about Earth always drew their attention. The ship's scanners pierced through clouds, land, and even deep into the endless oceans. At first, the results were normal fish, whales, volcano ridges, trenches. But then, something strange appeared. At the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, the scanners picked up shapes. Perfect shapes, metallic, massive dot. The science officer frowned. "Captain, you need to see this." On the screen appeared rows of colossal structures, stretching for miles. Hulls of ships, hidden beneath the waves, thousands, no-millions. The captain shook his head. Impossible. That cannot be right. But the readings grew clearer. It was no glitch. It was no trick. Beneath Earth's oceans lay hangars the size of cities, filled with dormant warships. The crew sat in silence. For centuries, the galaxy had believed Earth was defenseless. But here was proof that humanity had been hiding something vast, something powerful. The Cathari quickly sent their findings to the Dominion Council. Within days, every major empire had heard the rumor. Beneath Earth's oceans sleeps a hidden fleet. Some laughed at the idea. 1,000,000 warships underwater. Absurd. Humans cannot even leave their own system freely. It is a lie, but others were not so sure. Whispers spread among the older races, the ones who remembered humanity's distant past. They spoke quietly, their voices heavy with unease. They warned us never to test them. What if this is why? The Galactic Council gathered in emergency session. Leaders of dozens of empires argued, shouted, and denied. It is nothing but old ruins, one leader claimed, or perhaps defensive drones. They cannot threaten us. But what if it is real? Another whispered, what if humans have been hiding this all along? No one could agree. Finally, a decision was made. Scouts would be sent to Earth to confirm the truth. Days later, small alien vessels slipped into Earth's orbit. They disguised themselves as simple traders, harmless observers, but secretly they released probes into the atmosphere and oceans. One probe dove into the Pacific, its cameras recording. For hours it drifted in the dark, scanning the seabed. At first there was nothing, rocks, silence, and cold water. And then a shadow moved. The probe's light fell on the hull of something enormous, not stone, not coral, metal, smooth and black, covered in strange markings that glowed faintly. The probe's signals went wild. Dimensions showed a ship longer than 10 kilometers. Its weapons were sealed, but active. Reactors pulsed deep inside. As the probe turned its camera upward, more shadows appeared. Another ship, and another, and another. The screen filled with endless warships, stacked row upon row, stretching beyond the horizon of the ocean floor. A fleet large enough to drown the stars. The alien scout, watching the feed, felt his blood run cold. His hands shook as he whispered, "It is true. It is all true." Before the probe could retreat, something happened. The massive warship it had scanned slowly lit up. Faint blue lights rippled across its hull, like an ancient beast opening its eyes after a long sleep. The probe trembled, its sensors overwhelmed, and then a giant eye-like sensor turned. It was looking at the probe. The alien scout shouted, "It sees us. Cut the feed. Pull back." But it was too late. The last image the probe sent was of the warship's cannon charging with light. A single pulse of energy filled the water round. Then the probe vanished. No signal, no wreckage, nothing, just silence, panic. Spread through the scout ship. They destroyed it. That was no ruin, it is active. They are awake. The captain tried to remain calm, but his voice betrayed fear. "Send the report now. Let the galaxy know what we found." The message reached the Dominion within hours. Soon it spread beyond. Empires far and wide received the same terrifying proof. Beneath Earth's oceans, humanity had hidden something. Not hundreds, not thousands, but 1,000,000 warships, silent and waiting. Across the galaxy, fear grew. Some leaders ordered fleets to prepare for war. Others demanded peace talks. Merchants closed trade routes near Earth. Soldiers whispered that no army could stand against such a force. And yet, humanity said nothing. Earth remained calm. Its cities glowed, as always. Its people smiled, as always, to the galaxy. That silence was unbearable. What did it mean? Why had humans hidden this? And what would happen if the fleet rose from the oceans? The denial, the news spread across the stars like wildfire. Beneath Earth's oceans lies a hidden fleet, millions of warships. But the galaxy was not ready to believe. In great halls of alien empires, rulers laughed. Impossible. Humans are barely spacefaring. They cannot even colonize far systems. This story is a trick. The Galactic Council gathered in an emergency meeting. Delegates from 100 worlds filled the chamber, their voices echoing in anger and confusion. "This is a lie to frighten us," shouted one alien leader, slamming his clawed hand against the table. "Even if they built ships, how could they hide so many? Where are the materials? Where are the factories? They are tricksters. They wish to seem powerful when they are weak." Yet, not all were convinced. The elder races, those who had lived for thousands of years, did not laugh. Their representatives sat silent, faces pale, their eyes full of memory. One of them, an ancient being with skin like stone, finally spoke in a deep rumble. "Do you not wonder why no one has dared invade Earth? Why, for centuries, even the strongest, empires avoided their oceans? Ask yourselves this: what if the fleet is real?" The chamber fell silent. Still, pride would not allow most to accept it. Denial was easier. The Cathari Dominion, who first scanned the oceans, demanded action. We saw it with our own eyes, a fleet larger than the stars themselves. But other empires mocked them. Perhaps your sensors were broken. Perhaps you mistook ruins for ships. Perhaps you were fools. The council argued for hours, voices rising, threats exchanged. In the end, a decision was made. They would send more scouts. Days later, sleek alien probes entered Earth's oceans. This time, they carried cloaking fields and advanced sensors. They drifted deep into trenches, silent as shadows. At first, there was nothing, only darkness and endless pressure. Then, faint lights glimmered in the distance. The probes crept closer, recording everything. They captured images of hangars the size of mountains, doors carved into the seabed, glowing faintly. And within those hangars, the shadows of ships dot row upon row of them, stretching into darkness, their massive forms asleep under crushing waves. The probes transmitted the images back to the council. Proof undeniable. Yet, even with evidence, the council split apart. Some leaders shouted in panic, "They have deceived us. They are stronger than all of us combined." Others still denied, "No, these are old relics, ancient machines they cannot even use. Humans are too primitive to control them." The debate turned to fear and anger. If humanity truly had this fleet, then every empire in the galaxy was in danger. Meanwhile, the scouts continued their mission. One vessel, braver than the rest, dived deeper into the Pacific. Its cameras cut through black waters until it found a colossal structure on open hangar door. Inside, hundreds of warships rested, lined in perfect formation, their surfaces smooth and shining, as if waiting for a signal. The scouts' crew trembled. Their captain whispered, "These are not ruins. These are ready." As if answering his words, one ship inside the hangar flickered with light. Its engines pulsed once. Its cannons glowed faintly, and then, like a beast sniffing prey, it turned. The scout ship's alarms screamed. The massive warship had detected them. "Pull back, pull back." The captain shouted, but the waters shook with power. Energy surged through the warship's hull. The alien vessel tried to escape, engines burning at full force. It never got far. A single flash of light filled the trench. The scout ship was gone. Back in the council chamber, chaos erupted when the last image arrived. A colossal human warships, sensor glowing like a watchful eye, staring directly into the probe's camera before cutting the feed. The chamber fell into silence. No one laughed now. The Cathari delegate rose, his voice hard. "You see, they are awake. The humans are not weak. They have been hiding their strength for centuries." Another delegate trembled. "If this is true, if they truly hold 1,000,000 warships, then the galaxy belongs to them already." But denial still lingered. Pride made some leaders blind. One shouted, "No, they have no reason to use such ships. We are united, we are many. They are still only one world." The elder being spoke again, his voice like thunder. "One world. That one world now holds more warships than all of us combined. One world can end all others." And they smile while we argue. The chamber fell into fear once more. Outside the council, whispers spread across the galaxy. Merchants began closing. Trade routes near Sol. Colonists abandoned outposts close to human space. Ordinary aliens, hearing the rumors, shivered at the thought. If humanity truly holds 1,000,000 warships, what will they do with them? Yet Earth remained silent. No message, no threat, no announcement. The humans lived as if nothing had changed. Their cities glowed, their people laughed, their oceans hid their greatest secret, and to the galaxy, that silence was worse than war. The awakening the galaxy was. No longer laughing, the images of colossal ships hidden beneath Earth's oceans had spread everywhere. What was once rumor was now fact. Every world, every colony, every empire whispered the same words. The humans were never weak, yet even as fear grew, many still tried to comfort themselves. They are only machines. Perhaps humans cannot awaken them. They have slept for thousands of years. They will not rise. Even if they rise, we outnumber them. The galaxy is vast. But then the oceans moved. It began quietly, in the Pacific. Satellites above Earth picked up strange disturbances. The water churned unnaturally, great waves rising where no storms had formed. From orbit, alien observers watched in horror as the surface broke. A shadow emerged. First, a single tower of black metal pierced the water, rising higher and higher. Then came the hull smooth, massive, stretching for kilometers. A warship unlike anything in galactic records. Its engines glowed faintly, dripping oceans from their sides. Cannons, larger than entire alien cruisers, gleamed in the sun. And it was not alone. All across Earth's seas, the water boiled from the Atlantic ships, rose like mountains. From the Indian Ocean, fleets broke free of the waves. From the Arctic, black towers shattered the ice as colossal vessels emerged. The surface of Earth roared with power. Millions of warships, hidden for generations, now awakened alien fleets in orbit panicked. Their sensors filled with warnings, readings spiking across the planet, signals of weapons arming, shields powering. The admiral of one alien fleet shouted in disbelief, "This is not possible. How could they hide so many? How could they build this in silence?" No one answered. There was no answer. On Earth, humans stood on the shores, watching. Children pointed as waves split apart and massive shadows lifted into the sky. Elders, who had always spoken of humanity's secret strength, smiled quietly. This was not chaos. This was not surprise. This was expected. Humanity had always known. Above the Pacific, one warship fully rose, its hull dripping with oceans. It hung in the air silently, engines thrumming with ancient power. Its cannons rotated, locking onto the alien fleets above. The alien admiral shouted, "Hold formation. Do not fire unless ordered." But fear spread like fire through his soldiers. For the first time, they faced an enemy they did not understand. The warship's lights flared. Its energy core pulsed like a heartbeat. And then, across every channel, a human voice spoke, calm, steady, unshaken. "We were never unarmed. We were only waiting." The words silenced the galaxy. Then more ships rose. Dozens, hundreds, thousands. At once, the sky over Earth darkened as their shadows covered the continents. Waves thundered as engines shook the seas. The atmosphere itself trembled under their power. Alien ships scrambled, unsure if they should fight or flee. Some captains panicked, breaking formation. Others froze, staring at the endless wall of human steel rising from the oceans. The galaxy had seen great fleets before, but never this. Never a million ships moving as one. It was not a fleet. It was an empire of war, hidden in plain sight. The Galactic Council received live footage from dozens of sources. Leaders across the stars stared in horror. "Impossible," whispered one. "They were hiding this underwater." All this time, they smiled while guarding this. The elder beings said nothing. They only nodded, their old warnings proven true. One alien fleet captain, desperate, ordered his ships. "Forward, fire. We must show them we are not afraid." A barrage of beams and missiles shot toward the rising human ships. Explosions filled the skies, but when the fire cleared, the human fleet remained untouched. Their shields shimmered faintly, like ripples in water, absorbing everything, then, without rushing. The first human warship responded. A single shot, a pulse. Of light brighter than the sun, an alien destroyer vanished instantly. Its wreckage scattered into the void. The galaxy froze, One shot, one ship, and millions more warships still waited below. Panic erupted among the aliens. Fleets broke apart. Ships scattered in every direction. The calm formation of warlords dissolved into chaos. But the humans did not chase. Their fleets only continued to rise, slowly, endlessly, like mountains emerging from the deep. They did not need to pursue. Their message was already cleared back. On Earth, the human commanders stood in their control rooms, watching the fleets ascend. Their faces were calm, their voices steady. For centuries, they had waited for this day. For centuries, they had endured mockery and suspicion now. The mask was gone. One commander gave the order, his words simple, awakening complete. Begin the trial, asterisk the panic. The oceans had emptied dot from every trench, every abyss, every hidden base. The warships of humanity had risen. They covered the skies above Earth, black steel stretching from horizon to horizon. 1,000,000 ships, silent, patient, smiling in their own way. The galaxy watched the live transmissions in disbelief. Entire populations stared at screens, whispering in fear. The stories were no longer rumors. They were reality. Humanity had hidden the greatest fleet in history, and now it was awake. Above Earth, the alien fleets panicked. Captains shouted over one another. Some demanded retreat, others screamed for attack. Their formations broke as confusion spread. Thousands of ships drifted aimlessly, their discipline gone. But the warlords, arrogant even in fear, roared at their forces. Hold your ground. Do not flee from these humans. Fire everything. And so, with desperation, the alien armada unleashed its fury. Beams of energy cut across the skies. Missiles streaked like fire. Plasma shells rained down in endless streams. The galaxy held its breath. Could even humanity's secret fleet withstand such fire? But when the explosions faded, the truth was clear. The human warships stood untouched. Their shields shimmered faintly, rippling like water, absorbing the storm. Their engines burned brighter, their cannons glowed. They had not even moved. Then, calmly, without hurry, the first wave of human ships returned fire. It was not a wild barrage. It was precise. Every shot struck its mark. Alien cruisers vanished one after another, erased in silence. Dreadnoughts that had survived centuries of wars were torn, apart like paper. Entire squadrons blinked out in seconds. The alien fleets tried to reform, but it was useless. Human ships moved like predators, each strike deliberate, each maneuver perfect. It was not war, it was demonstration. On one alien flagship, the admiral screamed, fall back, fall back. But retreat was impossible. The humans had surrounded them, their formations flawless, their weapons ready. Every escape route was blocked. Panic spread. Some alien captains abandoned their fleets, fleeing at full speed. Others begged for surrender, sending desperate signals. The galaxy had never seen such chaos. Armadas that once ruled hundreds of worlds now crumbled like frightened children. Meanwhile, on Earth, the human commanders watched quietly. One spoke with calm certainty. They wanted to see our answer. Now they will see it in full. From orbit, more of the hidden fleet revealed itself. Ships larger than mountains appeared, their hulls glowing with ancient markings. These were not just warships. They were titans designed, not for defense, but for absolute dominance. Alien sensors screamed warnings, power levels off the charts, weapons they had never seen before. One massive human ship fired, not a cannon, not a missile, something greater. Space itself bent, an entire alien squadron disappeared without a sound, erased from existence. The galaxy froze. On distant worlds, alien civilians screamed at their screens. Some fainted in terror, others prayed to forgotten gods. Leaders demanded answers. Armies prepared for wars they knew they could never win. Merchants closed trade lanes. Colonies abandoned outposts near human space. Fear spread faster than light. The galaxy now knew the truth. Humanity was not just strong. Humanity was unstoppable. Inside the council chamber, chaos reigned. Delegates shouted, their voices breaking with fear. We must unite against them. No, we must beg for peace. If they march, the galaxy will fall. The elder races, who had warned of this day, only bowed their heads. Their voices were heavy, filled with old memory. This is why there was peace for so long. This is why no one touched Earth. The humans smiled, because they knew what slept beneath their oceans. Above Earth, the alien fleets collapsed entirely, ships scattered in every direction. Some hurled themselves into hyperspace without coordinates. Others turned off their weapons, hoping mercy would save them. But the humans did not chase. Their fleets held position, calm and steady, weapons glowing, shields shining. They did not need to pursue. The message had already been delivered. On one alien warship, a young officer trembled as he watched the destruction. He turned to his captain and whispered, "We cannot fight them. No one can. This fleet, it is the end of empires." The captain had no answer. His hands shook. His eyes were wide. For the first time in his life, he felt true despair. Then, across the galaxy, the human fleet sent a final transmission. The same calm voice echoed once more. Peace was always our choice. War was always your mistake. The words burned into the hearts of every listener. The answer: the battle was over. Above Earth, the sky was filled with wreckage, shattered alien cruisers, broken dreadnoughts, drifting escape pods. The once mighty fleets of the galaxy now floated like corpses in the void. But the million human warships still stood, calm and unshaken. Their black hulls glowed with faint blue light, their cannons ready, their shields strong. They did not chase the survivors. They did not roar in victory. They only waited. Across the galaxy, silence spread. Every world, every colony, every empire had seen the truth. The broadcasts of the battle played endlessly, the oceans splitting open, the massive ships rising from the waves, the alien fleets breaking in panic, the calm human voice speaking across the stars. Billions of aliens whispered the same question. Why? Why did humans hide this? Why do they smile while holding such power? On the alien flagship, now surrounded by human ships, the Grand Warlord finally broke. His arrogance, his pride, all of it had vanished. His voice trembled as he ordered his officers, "Send the signal. We surrender. We yield to Earth." But before his message could reach the humans, their broadcast arrived first. The face of a human commander appeared on every channel. His uniform was simple, his eyes sharp, his voice steady, and on his lips was the same mysterious smile the galaxy now feared. "You wished to test us. You asked for our answer. This is humanity's answer." He paused, letting the words sink into the hearts of billions. Then he continued, "For thousands of years, we chose peace. We hid our strength so the galaxy would know calm. We built our ships, not to conquer, but to prepare. And still, you called us weak. You thought silence meant fear. You thought smiles meant surrender. The commander leaned forward. You were wrong. The galaxy listened, trembling. Leaders of empires leaned closer to their screens, their faces pale. Soldiers on alien worlds froze, their weapons dropping from their hands. Children hid behind their parents as the human's voice filled their homes. We never forgot war, the commander continued. We only waited. And when you forced us, when you broke the peace, we awakened what you feared. 1,000,000 ships, forged in silence, hidden in our oceans, waiting for this very day. He gestured behind him, and the cameras shifted to show the endless fleet. Black steel stretched as far as the eye could see, blotting out the stars. This is why there was peace for 3,000 years. This is why no empire dared invade Earth. The ocean was never water alone. It was a shield. It was a grave for any who tested us. In the council chamber, delegates sat frozen. Some wept in fear. Others bowed their heads, knowing their warnings had been ignored. The elder races whispered quietly, "It is as we always knew." They were the guardians of peace. Their smile was never weakness. It was warning. Above Earth, the alien survivors waited for death. But humanity did not fire again. Instead, the commander's voice grew quiet, almost gentle. We do not seek conquest. We do not seek to rule. Those who live today will carry our message. Return to your people. Tell them what you saw. Tell them what awakened beneath our oceans. The alien warlords listened in disbelief. They had expected annihilation. Instead, humanity offered mercy, but mercy wrapped in terror. The survivors obeyed. Their crippled fleets turned and limped into hyperspace, scattering across the stars. Everywhere they went, they carried the same story. The 1,000,000-ship fleet is real. Humanity has awakened. Do not test them again. On Earth, the oceans calmed. Once more, slowly, silently, many of the great ships returned to the depths. Hangar doors closed. The waves covered their presence again. The humans had made their point. They had no need to keep their fleet in the open. The galaxy had seen enough. Back on Earth's command chamber, the human leaders stood in silence. One of them, an older general, spoke softly to his peers. They will not forget this lesson. Not for centuries. The smile of humanity will haunt them. Another replied calmly, "Good. Then peace will last a little longer." Across the galaxy, stories spread like wildfire. On distant colonies, children asked their parents, "Why do the humans smile?" And their parents, trembling, gave the only answer they could. They smile because they know. They smile because no one can stop them. In time, poets and historians would write of this day. They would call it the awakening of the oceans. They would tell how the galaxy mocked Earth, and how Earth answered with silence and steel. They would write of the fleet that no one believed existed, until it rose from the deep and darkened the stars. And they would write of the calm human voice, delivering the final truth. Peace was always our choice. War was always your mistake.